Picture this. The moon is gone. One night. No warning. Just gone. Within days, Earth's oceans start behaving like something has broken deep inside the planet. What catastrophic event could possibly create something that massive and lock it permanently into orbit? The answer was hidden inside gray rocks that Apollo astronauts carefully carried home from the lunar surface. This is the story of Earth's most violent event and the extraordinary world it accidentally constructed. Before Apollo returned those samples, scientists had put forward exactly three competing theories about the moon's origin. Three genuinely different ideas, three completely different mechanisms, and every single one collapsed under scrutiny. Theory 1, Earth rotated so violently that massive mantle fragments were launched straight into orbit. Theory 2, the moon was a wandering body that strayed into Earth's gravity and became permanently captured. Theory 3, Earth and Moon formed together from the same primordial rotating disk of gas and dust. All three had genuine scientific support. All three collapsed the moment researchers examined actual moon rocks. In 1969, Apollo astronauts returned with 382 kilograms of lunar rock samples. Scientists were certain the samples would finally settle the debate once and for all. They were spectacularly wrong. Here's what completely threw the scientific community off balance. The moon's chemistry matched Earth's almost perfectly. Oxygen isotopes, titanium ratios, tungsten signatures, all three markers match between Earth and Moon almost exactly. If the Moon truly came from a separate foreign planet, its chemical fingerprint should look different from Earth's. But wait, if the Moon was genuinely constructed from Earth-sourced material, how did it reach orbit? The answer involves a vanished ghost planet and a catastrophic planetary collision that permanently altered our world. 4.5 billion years ago, the solar system's inner neighborhood looked absolutely nothing like today. It was a full demolition derby, protoplanets smashing into each other, becoming measurably larger with every impact. Among those bodies was one called Theia, a protoplanet roughly matching the dimensions of present-day Mars. For millions of years, Theia and Proto-Earth drifted through the same neighborhood of the solar system together. Their orbital paths gradually shifted and eventually crossed in a way that made collision completely unavoidable. The collision wasn't head-on, a glancing blow, like one billiard ball catching another at high speed. But traveling at 10 kilometers per second, even a glancing blow releases staggering, almost incomprehensible amounts of energy. The heat was so extreme, it didn't merely melt rock. It vaporized everything entirely into superheated gas. Theia's dense iron core sank straight through into Earth and permanently merged with our own planetary core. That's why the moon has practically no iron. It assembled exclusively from lightweight outer mantle material. Superheated mantle material from both planets flung into orbit. And for a time, Earth had breathtaking rings. Not Saturn's icy rings. These were rings of vaporized rock and rivers of hot-flowing liquid magma. Here's the surprising part. That enormous planetary debris ring didn't spend millions of years becoming the moon. According to some current scientific models, the moon may have fully assembled itself in a matter of weeks. Gravity is extraordinarily efficient when you have that much material orbiting in one concentrated location. The newly formed moon initially orbited 15 times closer to Earth than its present-day position. 15 times closer, looking up from early Earth, the moon would have dominated the entire visible sky. The tidal forces it generated were catastrophically enormous. Not meters high, but hundreds of meters high. Think of a figure skater extending their arms wide mid-rotation. They immediately begin losing rotational speed. Earth worked identically. Tidal friction steadily stole Earth's rotational energy, and that energy relocated the moon outward. Apollo left precision laser reflectors on the moon. Scientists bounced beams off them to measure distance exactly. The measurement confirms the moon drifts precisely 3.8 centimeters further from Earth every year, and the moon gradually slowed Earth's rotation from a wild 5-hour day to our current 24-hour cycle. But that stubborn chemical mystery, the identical isotope signatures, still needed a satisfying scientific explanation. Oxygen, titanium, tungsten. Earth and Moon match on every measurable chemical marker scientists have tested. If Theia was truly a foreign planet, the moon should look chemically foreign, but it absolutely doesn't. One explanation: Theia formed so close to Earth that both worlds shared the same primordial chemical ingredients. Another explanation: the catastrophic collision was so powerful that both planets' material mixed completely before separating. And here's where it gets truly extraordinary. What if both planetary bodies dissolved into each other entirely? In 2018, researchers Sarah Stewart and Simon Locke proposed something they named a synestia. The impact was catastrophically violent enough to completely vaporize and merge both planetary bodies together. Not two planets hitting and splitting, one enormous, rapidly spinning cloud of superheated rock vapor containing everything. Earth and Moon condensed from the same cloud simultaneously. Not two separate events, but one shared origin. That elegantly explains their chemical identity. At that critical moment, they were literally the exact same material. It's a genuinely radical scientific proposal, but it solves problems that every previous model struggled to address. The synestia model isn't confirmed, which is why Artemis missions are drilling the lunar South Pole now. Ice in permanently shadowed craters has remained undisturbed for 4 billion years. It may hold our answer. Three questions remain genuinely open: the exact impact energy, the precise mass distribution, and the accretion mechanism. Science is actively working on all three, and that openness is precisely what makes the scientific process trustworthy. Now, here's why any of this matters well beyond being a fascinating story about planetary scale destruction. The moon stabilizes Earth's axial tilt at 23.5 degrees, and that single number shapes everything. That precise tilt creates our reliable, predictable seasons. The same orderly cycle repeating year after dependable year. Without the moon, Earth's tilt would wander chaotically over geological time, exactly the way neighboring Mars does. Wildly shifting seasons would make stable, long-term ecosystems extremely difficult, possibly impossible, to establish. Tidal rhythms driven by the moon also fundamentally shape the earliest biology on Earth in remarkable ways. Sleep cycles, seasonal migration timing, reproductive patterns in countless species, all tuned to the moon's gravitational pull. That object you look at every clear night isn't just strikingly beautiful. It's actively doing something essential. Without it, reliable seasons probably wouldn't exist. Without reliable seasons, complex life may never have appeared at all. Theia is gone. Its iron core permanently fused with Earth, and its outer mantle became our moon. Two separate worlds in the night sky, sharing one catastrophic origin, one violent moment of planetary creation. You're looking at a catastrophic planetary scar, 4.5 billion years old and still perfectly visible. Some of the most stable, life-sustaining things in the universe emerge directly from its most catastrophically violent events. Destruction as the necessary condition for creation. That's not poetry. That's exactly how the physics actually works. Mind blown? Hit like, subscribe, and tell us, could life survive on a moonless Earth?